warm welcome to all those tuning in to People's Editor on India Ahead. I'm Smita Sharma, your host for the show that keeps people, you and your issues ahead. And before we talk about the topic of the broadcast tonight, let's first in fact play out some visuals for you just to take you through what made headlines just a few months back. These are images of students who were brought back through special evacuation flights that were carried out by the government. They were named as Operation Ganga, and those special evacuation flights that were operated to bring back those Indian students who were stuck in war-torn Ukraine as Russia invaded Ukraine on 24th of February earlier this year. After weeks of high-level tension that followed, the government put into plan all these evacuation operations to bring back to safety almost 20,000 Indian students who were pursuing their medical degrees in different colleges and different institutes in Ukraine. And in these images, you will see the cabinet ministers, then of course Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi, who was a cabinet minister at that point in time, Smriti Irani. They received these returning students, handing them roses and flowers. Jyotiraditya Scindia, they were all sent out. General VK Singh, on these special flights, Prime Minister Modi interacted with them as well. Why are we showing you these images now? Let's talk about what is happening today. While what the government of India did was absolutely commendable, it of course drew a lot of international praise, justifiably so. But today, the fate of these students who returned in February and now we are talking about end July, their fate still hangs in balance. These students do not know. They were in different classes pursuing their medical degrees as to what happens next. Will they be able to go back to Ukraine, which is still amid a war, to be able to complete their degrees? Because in India, they are not being accommodated in medical colleges. These students have even taken to protests at Delhi's Jantar Mantar for the few days, and they are requesting the government that their requests be in fact met with. Meanwhile, the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin also wrote a letter on Sunday where he says that I would like to draw your attention to the anxiety among students due to the recent reply in Lok Sabha with reference to the status of the medical students who have returned from Ukraine and request you to take the necessary steps to secure their future. What is the way forward? You will hear in this broadcast several students who will be joining us from different places to talk about their issues. We will also try and look at, in fact, what really are the problems here, the technical issues that arise. But first up, let's listen into voices of some of these students who have sent in their pleas to India Ahead.
जैसे कि आप जानते हैं, अभी रशिया यूक्रेन के बीच युद्ध चल रहा है, जिसकी वजह से हम मेडिकल छात्रों की पढ़ाई रुक चुकी है। तो मेरी केंद्र सरकार और राज्य सरकार से यही रिक्वेस्ट है कि हम मेडिकल छात्रों के बारे में जल्दी से जल्दी कुछ सोचें और कोई डिसीजन लें, ताकि हम अपनी पढ़ाई पूरी कर सकें और देश की सेवा कर सकें।
It's my humble request from the Government of India and NMC to transfer us to Indian medical colleges, and if not possible, then to find reliable solutions for us, because it's been months awaiting for their final decision.
अभी तक जो स्टेप्स उठाए गए उसके लिए भी मैं हमारी गवर्नमेंट का थैंक्स करना चाहती हूँ। मे बी वो हमें हमारे इंडिया के मेडिकल कॉलेजेस जो अभी न्यूली ओपनड है, जहाँ पे फर्स्ट ईयर स्टूडेंट्स है, अभी वहाँ पे अकोमोडेट करवा सकती हैं।
So on 22nd of July, the centre actually informed the Lok Sabha in response to a question that the National Medical Commission the NMC has denied permission to transfer or accommodate any foreign medical student in any Indian medical institute or university. There are in fact thousands of Indian students whose studies were also impacted because they were pursuing their degrees in Chinese universities. Some of the Chinese universities have now started to open up, but in Ukraine, that uncertainty looms large. Let me get in here in the conversation. I have with me Lavdeep Singh. He is a student from Ukraine who is joining us from Jaipur. Pulkit Parekh, he is a young activist who has been raising the issues of these students. Professor J.A. Jayalal, who has been the past national president of the Indian Medical Association. But first, let me go to Sindhumati. She is a fifth-year student from Chennai who is joining us. Thanks to all of you for speaking to us. Sindhumati, starting with you, tell us first of all, do you have any clarity at this point in time? What is your biggest fear regarding your career really? Is your university in Ukraine even still there, or has it been destroyed?
Ma'am, thank you, ma'am. Actually, the problem is my future has become a nightmare. It is not only for me. It is for about the 15,000 students. They are all doctors. but till now we aren't updated about what's happening, and our university has been shut down because of the war. And I request, we don't know what's happening to us. Like, government is not taking any charge, and we are trying to do our best. But the government is not giving any information related to the transfer, or whether it's related to accommodation. Nothing has been figured out till today. And it seems to be so hard, ma'am. Like, we all aim to be doctors. Like, we all wanted to pursue medicine as our career. We all have the capacity to do. Because of the financial crisis, we went to Ukraine. And unfortunately, some war has happened, and it is an emergency situation, as you all know. And we are feeling very bad regarding the situation, ma'am.
ओके, लवदीप सिंह, आप बताएं, आपको यूक्रेन जाने के लिए क्या लोन्स वगैरह लेना पड़ा था? इस वक्त आपके मन में सबसे बड़े सवाल क्या घूम रहे हैं?
धन्यवाद मैम, हमें मौका देने के लिए आपके स्टेज पे। जैसा कि आपने कहा कि मेरे जैसे और भी बहुत बच्चे हैं जिन्होंने अपने यहाँ के सरकारी बैंकों से लोन उठाकर अपनी पढ़ाई को पूरा करने के लिए हम सब यूक्रेन गए। आज इस गंभीर स्थिति के अंदर, जब कि हमारा पूरा एजुकेशन वहां से ऑनलाइन मोड में ही वर्क कर रहा है, जिसका हम भी मानते हैं कि जो लेवल मेडिकल स्टैंडर्ड से मैच करना चाहिए वो नहीं हो पा रहा है। और फिलहाल उसके बावजूद हम हमारी यूनिवर्सिटीज को पूरा पैसा हर सेमेस्टर में भेज रहे हैं, और जबकि हमें हैंड ऑन मेडिकल प्रैक्टिस के लिए बिल्कुल भी चांसेस नहीं मिल पा रहे।
तो लवदीप, आपका ऑनलाइन क्लासेस अभी तक जारी है? आप किस यूनिवर्सिटी से पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं?
मैम, मैं बोगोमोलिट्स नेशनल मेडिकल यूनिवर्सिटी कीव का छात्र हूँ, चौथे वर्ष का।
अच्छा, तो योर ऑनलाइन क्लासेस आर स्टिल ऑन। पुलकित पारेख, tell me, about the students who have now decided to sit on a hunger protest. I believe you are in touch with them. What has forced these students to take this kind of a step now?
Thank you, ma'am. First of all, to the All India Head News platform, that from the first day you are covering the student concerns and raising their voices. So basically, ma'am, we have to sit there because now it's have more than 5 months, and we have visited I think every single MP and MLA of every state, and we have visited every member of parliament, and even we have visited 4 to 5 times to NMCs, and we don't know how many times we have visited health ministries also, but most of the time we went and we get the same answer that your matter is under consideration. But now in September we have to start our offline classes, and our classes will start in university, and in August also in some universities are starting. So basically we don't know whether India is going to do something for us, or we have to pay fees for next semester to the university, and if we pay also, we don't know that NMC will allow that online classes or not. So there is
Pulkit,
a very
you are a student yourself?
condition.
Pulkit, you are a student yourself? Which university are you going to?
Yes, I'm studying in Bogomolets National Medical University, Kyiv.
And can you give our viewers an idea of the amount of money as a student you've had to spend in the course?
Yes, near around the degree cost for every student is 40 lakhs, and the main thing I want to tell, all the students who are going there are mostly NEET qualified, and in all have a good score in NEET, but इस बार there are 18 lakh 60,000 students are sitting in NEET, but there are total 40,000 government and near around 50,000 private seats in India. So we can't afford the private seats. That's why the students have went there. And the students who are living 4 years there or 3 years there, so they have no issue to be adjusting in that environment or anything. But yeah, the war has came, and that is the reason that we have to come back to India. Right. And now we are seeking a permanent solution from the government.